Today's trivia quiz is on mobile games.
All right, I'm very excited about this one.
I'm going to give you a few hints. Ready?
Ready?
This game has no ads and no need for Wi-Fi to play.
Wait, so does it cost a lot of money?
Nope, it's completely free to play.
What? No way.
It has amazing graphics, and they recently added a bunch of new minigames.
Hold on, is that Royal Kingdom?
Yes, bingo. So if you haven't played Royal Kingdom yet, go to the App Store or Google Play and download it for free.
Let's spin the wheel and find out.
Eavesdroppin.
Michelle, it's the first week of 2026. Hello.
I actually thought you had a stutter, a tawana. It sounded like a speech impediment.
2026.
Kick off the new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Do you know what? Speaking of Happy New Year's,
Yeah.
I had a dental emergency.
Oh dear.
Yes, I had to go to our lovely gay dentist here in the village. He was talking about how overcrowded the whole town is. Because, I mean, it's like rammed.
I thought you were going to say how overcrowded your mouth is. Full of teeth. We need to take some of these out, Michelle.
Gotta get rid of them all. No, he was talking about how overrun the village was.
Yes.
And he said, I went into the supermarket. I couldn't get anything. Couldn't even get broccoli.
Broccoli?
I thought, oh my God, he's so cute. He's so cute. He's moaning about broccoli. That was my New Year's dental appointment chit chat.
What was the emergency, Michelle? Did a tooth fall from your mouth
No.
whilst eating in a fancy restaurant?
Restaurant, no tea. This is a warning. It happened to me, don't let it happen to you kind of warning.
All right. Glad I asked.
Turns out I've been brushing too hard.
That's a thing. That is a thing.
It's a thing. Look, I think it started when I had a bit of worry about, am I cleaning those back teeth with these braces? Am I cleaning my teeth well enough? Turns out, cleaning too good, too hard. I have brushed off the top of the enamel. The top of the tooth was exposed where the root is.
Revolting.
Don't say revolting. It was fucking painful.
That's rancid.
It's not rancid. It was too clean. So clean. I cleaned all the enamel off.
I find that horrific.
I couldn't even drink a cold sip of water without being in agony. So I went. He just popped a little bit of composite, whatever. It's like magic.
So he basically put a filling on it.
Yes. Big fucking needle though. Oh my God. I was there grabbing his knee.
Oh, lucky he's cute.
Oh, he's adorable. Word to the wise. Word from the wise. Don't brush your teeth too fucking hard. Speaking of teeth, guess what I got from my partner for Christmas?
A dental clench inhibitor?
No, he did say I was grinding last night.
And not in a good way.
I got brand new toothbrush, electric toothbrush.
Yeah.
You know, I've had one for many years. He said it was...
It smelled.
Rank.
Yeah.
Disgusting. It didn't smell. Oh, you bitch.
It smelled of broccoli.
Oh! It did not. You're so horrible. No, look, it's one of those brand new fancy ones. It doesn't go... It goes...
I've got one. I've had it for a couple of years. I'm not going to say the brand because I want to do adverts for them and for them to pay us
yes, of course.
to do it. But it's one of the nice, sleek, new recyclable ones.
Right.
You change out the head every now and again. It's lovely.
Well, this one is not recyclable heads, but it is absolutely amazing. And I actually said to my nice gay dentist, fuck, I just got a new toothbrush. Do I have to get rid of that? He went, just go easy.
Yeah, just calm down.
I tell you what we do need to do. Introduce our bloody selves.
Well, I was just thinking the same thing, Michelle, because I'm Geordie.
And I'm Michelle, and you are listening to Eavesdroppin, the comedy podcast all about teeth, it turns out.
Well, we do find comedy in the everyday. It's real life. It's true crime. It's supernatural. What are you going to get today? Let's spin the wheel and find out. I'll tell you later. But in the meantime,
oh my God.
I have got something to tell you. I've been scrolling whilst waiting for you to join me on this call. I was scrolling. We got a message from one of our very best eavesdroppers and researchers. It's Charlene Happy Chappy.
Of course.
And I've got to say, she has sent us something incredible. It's a crow and it's speaking Russian.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably not going to make much sense to you unless you speak Russian, but it's just amazing. Do you remember last week's episode? I said, just send me videos of crows talking and little donkeys running in and out of barns.
Yes.
Well, she said, imagine hearing the laugh in the middle of the night. And there's a very good reason for that. I'm going to play it for you.
Сейчас очень много снимаешь сказок, потому что меня перебиваешь.
It's just...
Oh my
it's just not
God.
nice.
That is
It's
so
not nice.
creepy. Seriously, that's Putin standing over you at midnight.
I just have to, reiterate, that's a crow. And I wonder, is it AI? My kids tell me it's AI. I don't want to believe it's AI. I want to believe it's real. Crows talk, man. Talk back.
I think it looks like AI.
No.
Oh, it sounds like AI going.
Well, they have funny voices, crows,
They do. I mean, it's amazing that crow can speak Russian.
Well, it was taught Russian.
Exactly. It just says what it hears, like us all. So thank you very much, Charlene Happy
She's good at
Chappy,
that, yes.
for...
Sending me what I want. Sending is what we like.
She serves you up your eavesdropping dinner of crow.
We're eating crow now, are we, Michelle? What does that even mean when you're eating crow?
I don't know. Eat crow. Be humiliated by having to admit one's defeats or mistakes. So basically it's like saying, eat shit.
We're kind of eating crow all the time, aren't we? You and me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good to
Kind
know.
of are.
I like it.
Eat some crow.
Eat some crow, bitch.
I was going to say it's the nice way of saying eat shit. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I could be right.
Speaking of eating crow and getting things wrong and whatnot, I'm going to tell you a little story today, Michelle. How about that?
Okay. Is it about me or is it about Budgie Smuggler's Rest?
It's not about any of those things. Because we're in January. It's the first week of a new year, 2026. And as regular listeners will know, we talk about all sorts of things. And today, I'm going to talk to you about something that we mentioned quite a lot. And last week, we had Tamira the Modern Mystic saying a few words. And she mentioned this, the Age of Aquarius. This is the dawning of the Age of Aquarius.
Amazing.
Exactly that. So, first of all, because we're on the social media, I want to tell you where I got this idea for the story this week, Michelle. I saw a very intriguing Instagram post from a lady called Mary is Alien. Go and check her out. She's bizarre. She's a very normal looking lady or a girl, and she's got 153k followers, which is that's 153,000 or
That's not
millions?
nothing.
I don't know. I guess it's
That's not nothing.
It's not nothing. It's something. In her bio, she says she's a professional alien studying human behavior.
Okay.
And it caught my attention. I think it was the reel that I was delivered that caught my attention because she's talking a little bit about Carl Jung, who I love.
Okay.
So I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a moment because actually looking at some of her other reels and posts, I think she's more of a conspiracist because she comes out with some wacky things. But she does say, and it's a bit like what Samira said last week in the shocking bombshell episode of the New Year. She says she believes that we are in a simulation. She also talks about the Age of Aquarius and what Carl Jung has to say about it. And Carl Jung, in case you don't know, is a psychoanalyst, one of the forefathers of psychoanalytical. He's a peer of Freud, and he's a little bit different to some of the psychoanalysts because he's quite esoteric and he kind of brings in things like imagery and patterns and the shadow self and things like that. He's quite something. I'll tell you more about him a bit later.
I don't know so much about Carl Jung, even though I did do one semester of psychology at university, for which I still have to pay HEX.
They put a hex on you.
But I do remember there is like Jungian dream theory.
Dream analysis, yes.
He's very big into archetypes, which I find very interesting.
He invented the archetypes, yes.
So maybe a little bit more on that later from you.
Possibly, but possibly not, because actually
Possibly
I'm talking
not.
about the Age of Aquarius, Michelle. What she says, this Mary is Alien, she says, in a nutshell, people are getting weird. We are in a time of moral collapse. Okay. There's confusion around morals, and it's no longer possible to ignore or write off evil. And that makes me think straight away of what's been in the news recently, Epstein, right? She says it's not random.
I mean, I don't think anyone's ever written off evil as just normal, have they?
Well, some things have been normalized. Think of Savile. That's evil, but we allowed it to carry on and it was ignored. That sort of, level of ignorance, or normalizing or allowing certain people to get away with certain brands of evil.
Do you think that was normalizing and allowing, or do you just think...
What do you call it?
I think people were scared. I think they were scared to speak up. I think they were scared to lose their jobs. I think they had a feeling something was going on but didn't know for sure, and so they didn't have the evidence.
I think people knew absolutely.
Really?
They say it was a different
time.
Like that's the catch-all excuse, and it's all allowed because, it was a different time. But actually, there's never a time for the sort of horrors that man wreaked.
Oh, no, he was absolutely fucking shocking.
Exactly.
Yes.
But we're not talking about that. It's dark. Well, I'm talking about a bit of darkness today. I've just mentioned Epstein for a start. But she goes on to say it's not random, but designed by interstellar beings, and that it will lead to the revelation that all humans have a dark side that we can't hide or help coming out. So maybe the revelation is now we can understand evil because we are evil inherently.
I'm so sorry. I just have to laugh at that. That is ridiculous. But continue. This is very interesting.
When you think about what I'm going to say regarding Jung.
Epstein.
No, Jung.
Jung.
Carl Jung. But
Carl Jung.
This leads me to the Age of Aquarius. Every now and again, you'll hear someone saying, this is the Age of Aquarius. Everything is changing. And like I said, Tamira mentioned it last week, and she said it a few times, actually, that we have moved away from the era of Pisces and into the era of Aquarius. There's a conversation about that on Patreon as well this month too, so go and check that out. www.patreon.com/eavesdroppin, no G. So let's talk about when I first heard about the Age of Aquarius, and you first heard about it probably, was in that song, The Age of Aquarius, which is from the musical Hair. Why were the hippies of the 60s so convinced peace and free love were written in the stars? Why is the internet currently full of people claiming everything from spiritual awakening to alien intervention to the collapse of global systems, and it's all part of some giant cosmic shift? Is it all part of the same thing? Well, slip on a caftan, Michelle. Light yourself a joss stick. I've just done that. Because today we're diving into the Age of Aquarius, where astrology, psychology, counterculture, and conspiracy theories all collide in one big cosmic soup.
I don't have a caftan on. I'm back in
It's
the
a robe.
The same robe. The one you always say is
The
filthy.
grey robe.
It's not. It's white. Thank you very much. You're so... New year.
New robe?
New horrors. New rudeness.
New robe, maybe.
It's not a new robe.
Did you not put that in your Santa's list? I'd like a new fluffy white robe, please. White.
I got a fucking toothbrush. That's what I got from Santa. I'm back in the robe, and I just want to say, again, our listeners are so amazing. We did have pictures of Kiss Apocalypse in his robe.
Yeah.
If you've got a robe picture, send it in.
Do send in you in your robe, but please make sure it's done tightly up at the front.
Oh, we
Please.
don't want any
We don't want to see
flapping
that.
around. No, we do not.
Ladies of a certain age. But going back to the Age of Aquarius and all of those things I just mentioned, it's a great example of how humans try to make sense of a massive cultural change by giving it a label, one that sounds mystical and scientifical and fabulous all at once.
And very hippie. Is it trendy to be...
Well, it appealed to the hippies,
But is it
didn't
trendy to be hippie? I mean, is that coming back? What do you think?
Well, I feel like it's never gone away, Michelle.
Well, look, I think there's always an element of that. I feel like there's an element of that in me. Always.
What, that you're a hippie?
Yes. There is a part of that in me. We grew up with that. You know, we had talked about...
Growing our armpit hair?
Yes, but also how there were some fabulous photos of you from the 90s where it was, 90s grunge was a little bit hippie, and we all had
In
that...
India. I was in India doing the hippie trail, and my daughter saw those pictures actually, and she said, "You look so cool, like a lesbian."
I think we had that kind of indie lesbian. I never had the short hair. I always loved a long hair look. There was something about it. So I feel like when you're younger and you have that moment of finding yourself, like you go through all the different tribes, you know, one week you're a goth, another you're doing the hippie thing, it does kind of stay with you. You can flip through those personalities like Sybil.
Sybil, the lady with the multiple personalities, you mean?
Yes, yes, I do.
What an interesting reference, Michelle.
My pleasure. I'm serving up what you want in this episode.
Okay, well, listen, I'm going to try and get back on track. Talking about the Age of Aquarius and other things. Astrologers can't agree, Michelle, on when this bloody Age of Aquarius actually begins.
So it's not starting yet.
We don't know.
You
This
don't
is the
know.
question.
No one knows.
I don't know. Some say it began in 1844. Others say 1962. Some insist it started with the 20th century, specifically the 60s, think hair. Others swear it's not arriving until 2600 CE, which means Common Era. I had to look that up. And a few renegades put it somewhere in the year 3597.
What?
That's a margin of over 2,000 years. Yet we still cling to the idea that it's here.
Okay. So what are the characteristics of the Age of Aquarius?
Aquarius! How many times are we going to do that today? Well,
A lot.
as you know, the characteristics of Aquarius, it's a water bearer. You might think it's a water sign, Michelle. You'd be wrong. It's an air sign. And astrologically, it's associated with rebellion, freedom, technology, interesting, electricity, science, idealism, humanitarian movements, I like that, space exploration, non-conformity.
These are new. 2,000 years ago when they came up with all of these zodiac signs, I'm sorry,
All right, so space exploration wasn't in there.
that shit didn't exist. That's
Yeah.
all new interpretations.
Not in 1844 when it was first, Nervous disorders, the knowledge economy, atheism, and the decline of religion. And that keeps coming up, the decline of religion. And I'll talk about that a bit more later. Basically, it's genius or chaos, depending on which way you look at it. Astrologers often say major historical shifts such as the Industrial Revolution, democracy, the rise of computers, flight, human rights are all Aquarian moments in history, which is very convenient because those things did happen in the last few centuries. But astrology is very good at pattern spotting after the fact, much like most conspiracy theories. I'm not saying that astrology is a conspiracy theory, might I add, though. Let me just point that out.
No, of course not. But, you know, we on this podcast often debunk fake psychics who are very good at shoehorning the facts in after the fact.
After the fact, exactly. But there is something lovely about the idea that humanity moves through cosmic seasons. When Pisces, the previous age, gave us religion and mysticism, sacrifice, think World War I and II, symbolized by the fish and often associated with Christ, Aquarius is heralding activism and technology, decentralization and rebellion. So not everybody agrees that it's going to be a good thing, Michelle. It might be. Well, it sounds already quite unsettling, doesn't it?
It does. But when you say it like that, I think we are probably looking more at like 1962 as the beginning of this. I think.
So you've chosen a date. Pin the tail in the date.
For me, from everything you've said so far about rebellion, freedom, science, you know, decline of religion, that all of that stuff, I do feel that the beginning maybe it was already starting, but the 60s were very much when all of that was taking place. Science, you know, internet, that's when it was all birthing. So
That's a good point. Birthing.
thank you. Oh my God. A tick for me.
You get to sit at the front. So I'm going to circle back to Carl Jung now because I've mentioned him a few times and also to the Mary as alien comments at the top, which are very Jungian. So he took astrology quite seriously. He didn't necessarily believe planets caused things, but he did believe astrology symbolized deep psychological patterns happening in the collective consciousness. And I love that idea.
Ooh.
And that's something I adhere to. I do love a bit of Jung, you know. When I read tarot cards, and I do occasionally, and they're not sacrilegious like people think, it's not telling the future or anything like that. I always caveat it by saying, this is not telling you your future. It is telling you what's inside you. You have the answers. It's a bit like counseling.
Yes, but also people sell it that it's fortune telling. It's telling you the future.
But I always caveat that, and I always say, this is not what I'm doing. Let's find out what you really think. But going back to Jung, he had a book, Michelle, Aeon. Do you know it? A-I-O-N. It's a big, thick old book.
No.
But in it, he did say, the age of Aquarius will constellate the problem of the union of the opposites. Now, that's very florid words, flowery words there. AKA,
Yes.
we'll be forced to confront the good and the bad in ourselves and each other. No more blaming everything on some external devil, which goes back to what Mary is Alien was saying about we can no longer ignore it. It's almost like a shadow thing. We have evil in us. Therefore, we are kind of evil in a way.
Yes, but if you think about even going back to Chinese philosophy with yin and yang, that is the perfect example. You have the black and the white, but the black has a white dot, the white has a black dot. This is the same, good and evil. When you actually think of that symbol,
Yes.
for me, it's a perfect visual rendering of what Mary is alien. I don't know, Mary is alien.
Yes.
And Jung is kind of what they're saying.
Yeah.
We are a bit of everything.
This makes me want to say this, Michelle. There is good and bad in everyone.
We learn to live.
Ooh, ebony
My God, Ebony and I.
and ivory. That's a good old tune, isn't it?
It is, and it is yin and yang. My God, it's all connecting.
Exactly. It's Michael Jackson
Yes.
and Paul
Black and
McCartney.
white.
Good and bad. Evil must be recognized as real. Take ownership is what he's saying. Going back to Jung, we are dark. We are flawed. We are ebony. We are ivory. He saw Aquarius not as a golden age, but as a time of spiritual crisis, a time of fragmentation, instability, and confronting humanity's shadow, things that we now call things like trauma, extremism, and collective madness.
Do you think we brush over these things? I don't think that we do. I think everybody, I say everybody, what do I know? I think one does tend to know the dark and the evil, I guess, if you want to call it that extreme word, inside. Don't you think?
Well, not always. That's why it's called a shadow, Michelle, because you don't know. It's there.
Unless you're a psychopath.
Not just that. I think a lot of us have negative or dark sides that we aren't aware of. And I will go on to explain more in a moment.
I also think we have dark and negative sides that we are really too bloody aware of. Like knowing your own faults, knowing when you're maybe unkind or the darkness or the negativity comes through. I think we all have an element of knowing that about ourselves.
Well, not really, because Jung's work on the shadow is the stuff that we pretend isn't us. And that's the sort of thing that we end up projecting onto others. And that could be in the smallest little interaction every day. And it's only once you know what those things are that you can actually become better. You have to own it. And that's what he's saying. And I think it's really good to listen to Jung in that particular thing. You know, you've probably got it. I know I've got it. A bit of anger, a bit of envy, greed, desire, shame. People or organizations will become the villain because they can't tolerate their own shadow.
Yes, but if you can't tolerate your own shadow, that indicates an awareness of knowing that shadow exists.
There is part of you that will be aware that it is there, but you're not looking inside and you're not accepting of it. You're in denial.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to accept that they're mean.
Or greedy, or selfish.
You maybe don't want
Or
to accept
jealous.
it, but you know that it's there. You just think, oh, I don't
Do
want it.
you though? Some people don't. And that's why they end up, this is the whole that shadow theory. And he does say the more convinced you are that someone else is evil, the less likely you've looked at your own shadow. It's basically cancel culture in a way. Jung wrote that if people don't individuate or do their inner work, we'll get mass social movements, get that kind of group think, which we're seeing now with social media, like all that social media driven division, that kind of thing. And it's jumping on bandwagons and it's not looking within. And Jung says individuation is the antidote, which means looking within, facing your shadow, owning your contradictions, being aware of them, and becoming psychologically whole. So no ideology or leader or religion can do this for you. It has to be you. That's what it means, individuation. You can't join a cult and learn about it. You can't pay loads of money and become better. Jung says the world won't heal until individuals do. Look within.
A lot of things to think about there.
There is a lot. So while the hippies are dancing in the mud at Woodstock chanting, "Let the sun shine in," Jung was saying, good luck with that. In 1967, we're going to talk about hair now, Michelle. Hair opened with the iconic song Aquarius, which we've sung a couple of times now.
Should we do it
When
again?
the moon is in the seventh house.
And what is
Exactly.
it?
And Jupiter
Love,
aligns
seal
with
the
Mars.
stars. Oh my God, I've skipped over some verses.
Well, suddenly the whole world thought something magical was happening. Peace, love, harmony, lovely, long, beautiful hair. My hair like Jesus wore it. Hallelujah, I adore it. You know that song as well, right?
I would just love to have that kind of hair. I really would. Long, thick, gorgeous Jesus hair. Can I just do a segue here about my new straighteners? I think I've told you. Burning my hair. It's really in bad condition. It's not
sorry.
Jesus-like at all. I have had to buy a hair mask, a really bloody expensive one, Oribe.
Oh.
And Oribe, if you are listening, we'd like a sponsorship. Moving right along. Back to the age of Aquarius and hair. Did you steal my scrunchie?
Oh, have a look in your hair bag.
Oh, sorry, pet. What was that?
All right, so that song, "The Moon is in the Seventh House," blah, blah. Astrologer Neil Spencer said the lyrics were astrological gibberish because things like when the moon is in the seventh house actually happen every single day. So who knew?
I didn't know
That didn't
that.
stop the song becoming a number one hit, though. The song was by band Fifth Dimension and it was released in 1969. Their version sat firmly at the top of the US radio charts for weeks and became the anthem of the counterculture movement.
It's so funny that I know that song, had no idea who the band was. It never even occurred to me to ask.
It was written by whoever wrote Hair and performed
yeah.
by a lot. You know, you've probably got lots of different versions of it on albums by different Broadway musical stars throughout the years. But
Maybe.
when it was released as a single, it was by the Fifth Dimension, apparently. So Woodstock, which is also a bit of a kind of symbol of hippiedom and that kind of movement, peace and love, it described itself as an Aquarian exposition. So think Glasgow with mudslides and thousands of naked bodies. Imagine being naked at a festival. I can't bear the thought of that.
Could you imagine you would either have sunburned nips or freezing cold nips? It's never just pleasant.
I might put a hat on my nips if that was the case.
Like the little tequila plastic ones.
Like a little mouse.
You know, off the tequila bottle, you get the plastic sombreros. You could just pop that on the nips.
I didn't think of that, but yes. That's what a nipple shield looks like.
Oh,
I've used
really?
one back in the day. But because of all this, the Age of Aquarius became shorthand for free love, psychedelics, and anti-war movements. Second wave feminism also came across. There was communal living, yoga, new age spirituality, all those wonderful things that mean you're a hippie. Let's be weird, let's have fun, let's drop acid, let's question everything, which is so much more fun than Jung's take on the Antichrist and deeply unsettling times. Some occultists even took a darker view on the Age of Aquarius. Medieval astrologers predicted the Aquarian age would be ruled by secretive elites obsessed with power, with knowledge used for control rather than wisdom. Some saw it as a second dark age, but instead of religious zealots murdering non-believers and witches, like they did in the Piscean era, science and tech would do all that for you.
Boom. Hello, AI.
Exactly. Others think we're mid-transition. The tide of Aquarius is rising gradually rather than flipping like a light switch, which leads us directly into the wildest part of today's story, something we all love, conspiracies.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
I think it's a conspiracy.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled podcast with some breaking news. Millions of people are now playing the mobile puzzle game Royal Kingdom. This is not a drill. Royal Kingdom has thousands of levels and is incredibly fun. What's that? I'm hearing from my producer that it has no ads. And it is completely free to download? What's next? You're going to tell me it doesn't need Wi-Fi? This just in, Royal Kingdom doesn't need Wi-Fi to play. We will continue to keep you updated as this story develops, but get it today and see for yourself. Download it on the Google Play or App Store today.
Here's some theories about the Age of Aquarius. You knew it was coming. If there's one thing we love here at Eavesdroppin, it's an astrological prophecy. Here are some of the biggest conspiracy theories floating around TikTok, Reddit, and the darker corners of the YouTubes. Number one, we have the Great Awakening. This one blends astrology and New Age spiritualism, bit of QAnon vibes as well. They claim that the Age of Aquarius will trigger a mass consciousness shift where all the old systems, I guess the society systems collapse, world governments dissolve, mental veils lift, the scales fall from your eyes, psychic abilities return, Michelle.
Okay.
We've already seen a bit of that going on with all of, we've done a lot of talking on the hill, the
Yes.
autists, non-verbal autists being able to have conversations
telepathic
and gatherings.
conversations
telepathically.
with others on the hill.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Humanity basically ascends to a higher dimension. There's usually a date attached to all these conspiracies. 2012 has been mentioned. That didn't happen. 2020. Whoops, that was wrong. 2032. None have worked out apart from, we don't know about 2032 yet, but so far not so good. But despite this, TikTok is still full of the videos saying that the frequency of Earth is rising. Is it, Michelle? I did look it up.
Okay. Is
Well,
it?
I had to ask AI.
Okay. Thanks, AI.
The answer, according to the Google AI overview, says yes, Earth's baseline frequency, known as the Schumann resonance. That's a great name for a band. In fact, when I read this, I thought it was a band.
Okay. Schumann's resonance.
I was a bit confused. It's around 7.83 hertz. It does experience slight variations and occasional spikes due to factors like increased lightning activity, solar events, and this all leads to popular theories and New Age beliefs about rising frequencies impacting human consciousness. But scientific evidence for this is limited. There have been spikes that were documented, like, for example, in 2017, when the resonance peaked unusually high and had scientists scratching their heads about it.
Neil, the scientist, you must know something about
Get in
this.
touch.
Get the fuck in touch with us. We need to know what happened in 2017 to peak
That made them
those
spike.
hertz. Please.
I bet he'll write in and tell us. I hope he does. Right, I'm going to move into another conspiracy theory now. The elite know and are preparing. What do they know?
I don't know.
Well, this one says the world's powerful institutions like the UN and NASA, secret societies, all of Silicon Valley, all know Aquarius is coming and they want to control the shift. And their alleged strategies include, and it's not going to sound that far-fetched actually, Michelle, mass surveillance, digital IDs, AI domination. Now, I heard voice imitators the other day, and they are too
Incredible.
fucking crazy. I do not like them at all. And of course, you've got deep fakes. You can get anybody basically endorsing anything,
Yes.
and they haven't done it. Where are the laws for this? There needs to be some laws. It's quite frightening.
We are living in the wild west of AI and technology. The lid is off the box. No one knows how to control this. There is no regulation on it. We literally are the babies of technology and AI boom. But it's fucking terrifying. Privacy gone.
Well, because of that, misinformation campaigns are also amongst it. Religion being destroyed and pushing transhumanism, which is another weird thing. Basically, Aquarius equals technology tyranny. And this theory borrows heavily from older fears of the Illuminati, which we've spoken about before on this podcast.
A lot. Yeah, we have.
It's the modern mistrust of tech filtered through a spiritual lens. Next theory. You're going to like this one, Michelle.
Okay.
The return of aliens or starseeds.
All right. Enlighten me because I want to know what this conspiracy theory is for sure.
So New Age communities love the idea that Aquarius brings contact with higher beings. And here at Eavesdroppin, we have actually done an episode on these so-called star seeds, Season 4, Episode 21. It was called Star Seeds, Indigo Children, and Mike the Psychic Detective, if you want to know more on that. But in this theory, some say aliens will return to reconnect with humans. Others claim we are the aliens, incarnated star seeds, waking up to our purpose. Reptilian shapeshifters even. Yeah, the shapeshifters get dragged into this one as well. Aquarius is an air sign, so apparently that means interdimensional space lizards, possibly. I don't know. The logic is thin on this one, but the entertainment value is sky high.
Of course. And obviously, they used to say the Queen is a lizard. What about Charles? She's gone.
She's gone. Did she shapeshift into Charles? I mean, where is he, by the way? You never see him.
I know. Where is that guy? Bless him. I think he's not well. I think he's on the verge.
Well, let's not say too much about poor old Charles.
Prediction for 2020.
Oh, God. Michelle, don't.
I'm not manifesting. I'm just saying we haven't seen that guy. I don't think he's well. Do the laugh.
What laugh?
You see, what
Camilla.
laugh? You knew.
Camilla, where's that tampon? Right.
Oh, God.
We've got another conspiracy theory here, Michelle. It's the female rising. This theory stems from a 19th century French writer called Auguste van der Kerkhoven, who coined the term the Age of Aquarius in 1890. He was the first person to say it, yes. He said that Aquarius was the house of the woman. He predicted equality, matriarchy, and feminine leadership. And who hasn't felt the patriarchy shifting slightly from under us? At least some of those Andrew Tate types definitely have. Some modern feminists reinterpret this as the rise of female political power, also gender fluidity, and also the dismantling of the patriarchy, as I just mentioned. Basically, this to me is hopeful wish projection.
Yes.
Then we've got the digital antichrist, Jung again.
Okay.
Coming back to Jung, because I didn't get to tell you about this, but basically he said that Pisces age was all about Christ and imagery and crosses and all of that kind of thing. But now we're moving into Aquarius, which is the heralding of the Antichrist, whatever that might mean. Some Christian conspiracy channels claim the Antichrist will be AI, a machine consciousness rising in the Aquarian age of technology. And according to this theory, religion will fall, science becomes gospel, machines will dominate. Someone said to me, how soon before we all have a household robot, not just a Roomba? You know, I've seen them. They look awful. I don't want them.
No, they look like small children.
I don't want a robot.
They look like a weird little
No, don't give me that.
Japanese robot child.
Imagine if one was standing behind me right now, waiting for me to activate it. I mean, I do that with my Alexa, I guess.
Oh, I really regret ever having to activate our JBL because Google is listening. Hey, Google, see, turns on. Fucker.
Did they say anything back to you?
No, it doesn't talk back. We just use it to turn on Spotify. I could literally just go and turn a knob. Why did we need voice activation?
You can get up off your seat.
Seriously.
Well, more to this theory is humans merging with tech, which is the transhumanism movement. And the ultimate deception arrives in digital form. What is that? I guess it just means that we're being tricked constantly. It's very Black Mirror. And it shows how Aquarius gets interpreted through whatever cultural fears we're holding.
Yes.
Every era of massive social upheaval creates stories to help people make sense of change, such as industrialization and globalization and political extremism, climate crisis, all these enormous shifts. And humans cope by giving them a mythic frame. The Age of Aquarius might just be a cosmic rebrand for our modern chaos. And as Jung would say, when an archetype becomes powerful in culture, it doesn't matter whether it's true. It's psychologically true. And the Age of Aquarius is an archetype of transformation. So, going back to Jung's book Aeon, apparently author and psychologist Jordan Peterson said the book was truly terrifying. Jordan Peterson, by the way, is troubling in himself with his views on gender and identity politics.
Who is he?
His involvement in far-right politics. He's a psychologist and he's Canadian and he does talking and, you know, what you call it. What are those things called when you go up and talk, and TED Talks and all those kind of things? He writes books and has quite strong views. His 12 Rules for Life was one of his books, I think. But you have to agree that the book Aeon, which is by Jung, as I've said before, paints a pretty bleak picture. And these old meaning-making symbols are all kind of, I don't know, just making us all think, what's next? You know, Jordan Peterson reckons Jung wasn't trying to comfort anyone with his book. He just was staring into the emptiness and kind of delivering a truth that no one really wanted to hear. So I feel like I'm getting a bit down now. I'm sorry, I'm feeling a bit sad.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about all these sad things. But whether or not we're embracing the new age or fearing it, Michelle, here's my question. Is it even coming? Or has it been? Or is it just socially constructed narrative? Do write in. Answers on the back of a microchip, please.
Oh, okay. Well, look, you've probably heard this rustling of paper. I've been taking notes, Geordie.
Oh, my God.
Taking notes because I want to discuss a couple of things that you have talked about. There's a lot. So there was something about psychological patterns equal the collective consciousness, and it's to do with the planets, right?
Yeah.
So the planets don't dictate your future and they're not telling you what's happening. It's about just psychological patterns. What do you think about that?
About the psychological patterns equaling what?
Sort of patterns in the collective consciousness.
In the collective, okay. Well, I actually do agree with that. I said this to someone today. I have heard somewhere that when you do the crossword, and I've spoken to you about this as well.
Yes. When you're doing your Wordle.
When you're doing your Wordles, it's usually better at the end of a day when everybody else has done it, because the psychological thoughts are out there in the ether. And, you know, we've also talked about our brains being a lot bigger and more capable of more things than we actually use them for.
Yes.
So when it comes to collective consciousness, is that what we're talking about? I'm a bit confused.
Yes, you had said.
I don't remember what I said, Michelle.
Oh God, it was 5 minutes ago. I think you said something about Jung and astrology. He said it's not about planets, it's about psychological patterns, and
he doesn't believe that planets are controlling us. He doesn't believe that.
No.
And that goes back to what I said about tarot as well. He doesn't believe those cards and the way somebody's shuffled them and blown on them and laid them out and read them is telling the future. It is more to do with what's going on inside the individual. Jung was saying you need to be aware, you need to individuate. Don't rely on religion. Don't rely on a cult member or a cult leader to tell you how to think or tell you how to be. And be honest with yourself. Look in that mirror. Look at the dark as well as the light. Of course, the light's the bit we prefer, but look at the dark. Get used to them. Make friends with it.
I'm not a big believer in diving in and doing self-work. That's not my thing. I'm not sure it's...
I don't believe that.
Don't believe what? That I don't believe it?
I don't believe that about you. Yeah. I've known you to have self-help books. I've known you to go to silent retreats. I've known you to go to all sorts of self-help retreats and all sorts of things. So you do buy into that.
Yes.
You are a believer of it.
Not so much.
You are always trying to improve yourself.
I do believe in improving yourself. I'm not really a believer in digging back into the past to heal your present self.
I'm not talking about the past.
Good, because that's not really...
We're talking about the shadow. That's different. The shadow is here now.
Okay, so that shadow self.
You have a shadow. I have a shadow. We all have a shadow. The shadow is what you said before, the yin, the yang. It's that little lump of darkness within your light.
Yes.
It's that thing that makes you jealous of other people. It's that thing that makes you annoyed when somebody else succeeds. It's that thing that makes you want to slap someone or call them a see you next Tuesday or something.
Now, I'm going to relate this back to something that we've talked about before. And I'm sorry if this is going to be spoilers, but Pluribus. For me, that show, it's everything that you've just said, because you have the humans that are greedy, envious, they're taking advantage. You see their dark side. And then you have the others who are peace and love, and all they want to do is no harm to anyone and help. And yet, I don't know about you, but we're all rooting.
They don't want it.
We're all rooting for the humans,
for the bad
guys, because, you know, you have all of these people who say, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for, you know, what's your New Year's wish? World peace. Well, do you know what? This show gives it to you and no one wants it.
Exactly. Well, that's your shadow. Those, the others are without a shadow.
They are
clearly.
without a shadow, and we don't like it. We don't like it. We want
It's weird.
the scale of emotions. We want the light. We want the dark, because without the dark, you can't understand the light. You don't see the difference. Without contrast, everything is one note.
We're not saying to get rid of it, by the way, Michelle. Jung is not saying
Get rid of it.
your shadow.
Yeah.
It's saying look at it.
Yes.
Be aware of it. You need to know it's there.
Yes.
Stop projecting it onto others. Accept it.
Yes. Accept it.
That's my take anyway.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it.
I think we all, on some level, do acknowledge
You
when...
keep saying that, but that's not true. That is not my experience of humanity.
So you don't think that people know when they've been mean or unkind, or when they've been a bit rude, or that they've been jealous or greedy? I think people do.
Well, let me just explain the difference here, Michelle. What you're talking about is a behavior. Oh, I've just decided to say, piss off, you bitch. That's me being rude and disrespectful, and I've chosen to do that. But the shadow is not a choice. It's a way of being. It's part of you, and you're often not aware of it to the point where you will project it onto others. So if you are, I don't know, I'm trying to find another example of it. Jealousy. Let's use that. If you are unhappy because you want something that other people have, you tend to not like that person. I don't know. Something about that person makes me a little bit shit itchy. I don't like them. They think they're all that. And that's your jealousy being projected onto them. That's a really basic way of describing it. But you think there's nothing wrong with that. You think you're being perfectly normal. They're the problem. They're the villain. They're the bitch. You see what I mean? They're not. They're just going about their business. That's your shadow creating that situation.
Yes. I do think, though, on some level, people do know that.
Okay. We're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. I feel like I'm not describing the shadow very well, if that's what you think.
I understand what you're saying, that we all have a shadow. I'm saying that there is some level of consciousness about when we know, even when we think that person's a complete bitch, there is something, a kernel somewhere we do know it's us.
What about denial, Michelle? Let's talk about denial.
Okay.
What's that when you're in denial?
What are you getting at here?
When you're in denial, that is you protecting your shadow. You do not want to look at it. You're in denial because you're not able to accept that's your shadow.
Okay.
You've been projecting that onto somebody else. They'll say, well, that's just your shadow. That is your unconscious part of your psyche that you're repressing, that you're putting onto me.
Okay.
And you're in denial because you don't want to acknowledge it. It's quite difficult to describe, I suppose. Unacceptable traits that you don't like in yourself.
And then you project them
Really.
onto...
And you pretend that you haven't got them, or you're not aware that you've got them, and you project them onto others. Exactly.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm going to move on to something else here. One of your conspiracy
All right.
theories. It's the...
Okay, they're not mine, just so I can
one-
point out to people. Do not write in on that. I haven't made this up. It's been researched.
The one where you were talking about the elites just know.
The Age of Aquarius.
The Age of Aquarius, yes. Now, I've written here Severance because I will say to you...
Oh, yeah.
Geordie, I watched it. I fucking loved it.
You did?
I really
isn't it great?
loved it. I'm about to dive into season 2.
Oh, how wonderful. I'm glad you gave that a go.
Season 1, to me, there's so much about what you were talking about, which is very Severance here.
Yeah.
AI domination, mass surveillance, all that kind of stuff, misinformation, religion destroyed. Because for me, and anyone who hasn't seen Severance, please do. You had said the religion is destroyed. In Severance, so much of that is around the religion of Keir.
Yes.
It's not called religion, but that's what it is.
Yes.
You have these iconic religious style paintings. You have the prophecies. You have the so-called books, but they really are representing Bibles. I think Severance has a lot of messages, and so many, I can't even unpack them all, about how we are living, how AI is taking over. You're talking about return of aliens and the digital antichrist and all of these things. With Severance and severing the self, two different beings,
Yes.
using technology, all of this stuff, it's so feeding into people's ideas of whatever the Age of Aquarius means
Well,
to you.
Exactly.
It is pulling in all of these ideas. It's super interesting that I've just watched that.
And it's dark.
Very dark.
And it's not comfortable. And that is my point of today's story. is that perhaps the Age of Aquarius isn't all flowers in our hair and naked boobies with the top of a tequila bottle on the end of them, having a great time. It's more about severance and being controlled and not having a choice.
Humans merging with
Humans
tech
merging
is
with
what
tech.
you had said.
Exactly. And it's frightening.
It is frightening. You know, your question to me, is it coming? Has it been? We're fucking
We
in
are
it,
in it.
is my
Yeah?
thought.
Okay, that's what you think. Yes. Do write in. I want to know.
Do write
Yes.
in. We want to know what you think. Yeah, so very interesting ideas. You know, my head has been a spin with ideas around Pluribus, the TV show, Severance, all of these things which take a human element and mix it with either aliens, a supernatural, with tech, control. Is it a coincidence that all of these TV shows are coming out asking these questions, getting people
I've got another question
thinking?
for
Or
you.
are they just watching and just going, oh, that was great. What's next?
Yeah, here's another question. The two TV shows you just spoke about are both from the same company, which is a massive tech giant. It's Apple.
Yes. And, you know, we have spoken before about how Apple tech wizards in Silicon Valley, they don't let their kids use iPads.
Oh, really?
They don't give their kids phones.
Oh.
They know what it does to brains. All of these devices are rewiring our brains. We don't even know it's happening. We're letting it happen. When you see and read these articles about these tech giants who don't give their kids tech, they know something we don't.
Right.
What do they know?
Oh,
I
God.
want to know.
I'm going to have bad
Charlene
dreams
Happy
tonight.
Chappy writing?
Yeah, Charlene, right in. I'm going to have nightmares.
God, I had nightmares after Severance.
Did you?
It was more just nightmares of, oh my God, there is so much to unpack here.
Yeah.
Geordie, thank you for making me watch Severance, persevering with me to, like, you kept saying you'd like it,
Yes,
you'd like
I
it.
did.
And I think I watched an episode and didn't love it, and then I went back to it and I was hooked. I just wasn't ready.
You weren't ready
for
to come
Severance
to it.
before.
And speaking of television recommendations, of course, over on our Patreon, we have all the list of things that ourselves and our regular eavesdroppers write in and recommend. So go over there if you're stuck for something to watch. And also there's other extra content and extra episodes over there too. It does cost just a little, but you can go over there and have a little peek about.
A couple of pennies.
Yes, do that.
You spend more on a packet of chewing gum,
Do you?
I would say, these days. Look, thank you so much for that app. Really thoughtful.
I'm done blowing minds. Absolutely. It is the Age of Aquarius at some point. Maybe it's been and gone. Maybe we're in it. Like you say, Michelle.
Who knows?
Who knows? Anyone got any info on that, please do let us know. And in the meantime, until next week, wherever you are,
Whatever you do,
Just
just
keep
eavesdropping.
eavesdropping.
Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping. Dropping. Eavesdropping. Dropping. Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping.
Dropping.
Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping all day long. Eavesdropping, this is a song. Drop it like it's hot.
Nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, Ferrum College is the perfect size to challenge you, inspire you, and care for you. Why do students love Ferrum? For starters, it's the personalized attention, hands-on learning, vibrant campus life, 21 NCAA Division II teams, and generous financial aid. Get started at ferrum.edu. Virginia residents may qualify for free tuition, and you can earn $1,000 just for visiting campus. Go to ferrum.edu.